Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral. Joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command as always. I've got some news, unfortunately, to start with this video. Due to my work and obviously with what I do with my job, since I obviously do work full time, then I've been basically deployed somewhere for 6 to 8 weeks. Uh, with my job, that is. So there probably won't be a video up after this one now for at least 6 weeks, I would say, until I get back. So I will be essentially not doing any videos or doing any streams. If you are on my Discord, then I will obviously keep update people where I'm at and hopefully be able to chat with some of you over there on the Discord. So unfortunately there won't be any videos for the next 6 to 8 weeks. I do apologize in advance for that, but I only found out yesterday that I was going to be going away for this period of time. So unfortunately this will be the last video for that period of time. However, this video is going to be about Armada crews, how to do the certain Armada crews, and how to set up an Armada depending on obviously how many you can fit within the Armada itself. I'll show you the two best crews that to have even at the lower tiers in terms of if you can only get 2 people in the Armada. I'll show you what crews that you should sort of run with because that's the two best crews to run with no matter what, and then I'll show you the more generic crew that you can sort of go with as well. So the first crew that you should be running with 100% every single time you go to an Armada, and this is something that you're obviously going to have to organise with your other teammates. Ignore the ship, we're just looking at the crew layouts really. So you want to be running some form of burning crew, just because this gives you the 1% burning damage. Once you trigger it, it gives you the 1% burning damage for as long as it's active during the battle. Obviously, if you're going up against an Armada or a station or anything like that, the 1% is going to obviously stack over time, and that is going to be really beneficial for you and your team. So the Armada crew is definitely, I'm not going to show you the under crews because I've showed that before with the certain types of crews. Put whoever you want in the under crews that I've sort of spoke about before, but yeah, run with a burning crew. And then the second crew that I would recommend to run with, just because it gives us a similar benefit to, these also act for every player within the Armada. So if one person runs the burning crew, no one else needs to run the burning crew. So just bear that in mind. No one else will need to run it, and everyone will get the bonus of that. Obviously, that 1% getting taken off the Armada's health each time it's active, or each round it's active. The next one that is also a beneficial use is going to be the Gorkon crew. I have done extensive testing over the last probably 3 to 4 weeks now. The Gorkon crew, i.e. hull breach, does definitely 100% work for every single person within the Armada. So if someone runs this, then obviously you're getting that bonus as well. With obviously hull breach is obviously useful because it gives you that extra armor piercing attack as well. If you look at this crew layout, obviously you don't have to run this specific crew. The reason I've gone with Khan is just because he gives that extra 1% chance, a cumulative chance, obviously increases the critical chance by 1% cumulative, which is obviously very beneficial because then it means that potentially Kayla can obviously activate his ability more so if you get more critical hits, especially if you pair it up with something like a Sally. But like again, the ships I'm not really going into, but it's more to do with the crews. So yeah, if you can get that hull breach, which is obviously this ability, if you can get that hull breach activated, then that does definitely benefit every single person within the Armada as well. So just bear that in mind, and obviously team that up. They're the two ones I would run with. So team that one up with your burning setup. If you can only get 2 people within the Armada, if obviously you can get more people, then obviously the easier it's going to be overall. But essentially, if you can activate burning, that deals 1% damage to the opponent's hull. If you can activate hull breach, which is obviously Gorkon, then that's going to be equivalent to 75% critical damage when you obviously get a critical hit, which is obviously massive, and obviously can get boosted then again by Kayla's ability. attack obviously being an extra 25%. So essentially you're going to get a hit of about 100% bonus hit to the opponent. The other then more generic, and you only need to run this once as well. So you only need to run them one of each crew per Armada. Just bear that in mind. The only other crew that you can run, which is a very generic crew, which is very basic in terms of most people can probably do it no matter what level you are, and it will definitely benefit you. It won't benefit you as much as the other two will, i.e. this one and the Ben, but it will still do you okay, and that's going to be your morale setup. I've gone for the bones and as the captain now because it seems to work a little better than having Kirk. So I would run it with this sort of orientation. It still works perfectly fine, and you do get a hell of a lot of bonuses from running it. Obviously, when you run morale, the bonus of having morale pop is a plus 25% armor piercing and shield piercing and accuracy boost. So it's plus 25% to all of them. So obviously that is going to help you no matter what, whether you're going against an Armada or a ship. Obviously, specifically talking about Armadas at the moment, this is obviously a generic morale crew that you want to be running, which definitely can help you out altogether. The only other crew that you can sort of tie in with this one, for example, is if you put your Kirk as captain, and then you could run the likes of Decius instead of Bones. If you run Decius, obviously you look at his ability. Every time the ship gets hit, Decius increases the weapon's damage by 7%. So obviously that could be of beneficial use. Alternatively, you could run. This is all to do with morale popping. So just bear that in mind. Alternatively, you could run Zhao and probably run him as your captain, just because it increases defense of all the officers, which helps his own ability. And then as long as the ship has morale, increases the deflection, armor piercing, dodge of the ship by 30%. So that again could help overall. But I would just, if I was going to do it myself, I would just stick with the generic. Just stick with the generic morale crew if you can. So they're the three crews. Obviously, you can go to more elaborate crews later on. So you could try. I'm not entirely sure how this one works, but you could try obviously using. I don't have them, but you can use some of the Borg officers, like 6 of 10, for example. He has an ability when attacking a mod targets every time the ship is opponent weapons. 6 of 10 increases the actually arm piercing and shield piercing of the ship. So that obviously could potentially help you. Again, I don't know how that 100% works because I don't have them, so I can't really comment too much on that setup overall. And then obviously you got certain characters that give specifics against certain types of armadas, obviously. So when a ship takes damage from a Armada target, Harry Mud decreases the weapon damage of the Armada target by 10% each round. So that could be of beneficial use as well. Again, I can't really comment because I don't have that one either. But just remember, the main things to take away from this are that whoever runs the certain crew, that you do need to organize it between yourselves. It's all to do with teamwork. You have to speak to each other. Get one person to take a burning crew. Try and get the highest burning crew you can get as well. So whoever's got the highest set, then try and get them to take that one. Try and get someone to take the hull breach crew, which is the Gorkon setup. Obviously, you can run Khan or you can run Koff or whoever else in that setup to activate the hull breach crew. Again, try and get someone to take the highest level possible, and then everyone else try and just fit in wherever you can fit in. I run the morale crew, or alternatively run another crew, not this crew. Try and run someone with the likes of like Decius in there. If you don't have all three of them, try and run Decius if you have him, or you can try and use one of the other officers that you have, like Mud or 6 of 10, or someone on the lines, or 7 of 10. So, no, yeah, 6 of 10, yeah, that's right, or something like that. If obviously you have them type of officers, if you don't, then obviously try and just stick with the generic morale crew, which most players now will probably have somewhat. Bearing in mind you can't do. This is obviously focusing on Armadas above level 22, Ops level 22, which is when obviously you can actually physically run your own Armadas. Anything below that, I haven't really covered in terms of, because you can participate, you just won't be able to activate yourself. I haven't really covered if you don't have obviously high enough officers. I'm not going to cover them in this video, but obviously you'll be restricted to obviously either using the cadets or alternatively using some of the lower end green or uncommon officers within your setups. But yeah, if you can just stick with them three main setups that I showed you. Hopefully this video is helpful for you, and hopefully you like this video. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the whole channel, all the videos. Other than that, I will see everyone in a fair few weeks. Hopefully everyone sticks with me in that time. I much appreciate the support that everyone has given me over the last couple of months of me doing this, and I am very thankful of that. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.